Yeah, and I don't take that long. But my mother and my sister, well, they would say I do. So let me shut
You
up.
probably don't take long because they do. Like, I want to be mindful of the fact that you're.
That's actually really true.
Yeah.
It's so funny because I was just telling someone this the other day. Even though it's like my mom, of course, and my sister, sometimes it felt like I had middle child tendencies because it's like my mom and my sister.
Yes.
And so,
like, y'all have forgotten me.
Like, no. But, like, my sister and my mom, like, like, they would be, like, joke bickering or, like, doing something, like, an older sibling and a younger sibling, like, going at it, like, chaotically. And I'd be like, I made rice-a-roni if anyone's hungry right now. What show did we want to watch? You guys are. Has anyone seen the? Please. I read this book the other. And everyone's like, "Why are you so quiet? Why are you so quiet?" I grew up with a Leo and a Capricorn in the same. No one's listening. No one's listening. I liked being around and being present without having to engage in any way. And so sometimes it would be nice to be able to just sit and people, when people recall the memory, be like, "Oh, Aiyana was there." And I'd be like,
what the heck is wrong with you? Oh, yeah, she was there. Oh my gosh, she's in my memory. But where were you? Not there.
Girl, I don't know. But it's funny because I could tune out but still remember the actual thing.
That's probably why you're so good at poetry. Like, the way you can create your own worlds.
I think so too.
You're absolutely
we talked about this a little bit last time, but I think that's also why I was so good at meditation. Because I literally just tune. I turn it off.
Okay, wait. We have to introduce the people.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. This is What School Didn't Teach Me. A podcast meant to build community on all the things school doesn't prepare you for. Hi, I'm your host, Jasmine Kiamber, and class is in session. Welcome back to another episode of What School Didn't Teach Me. It's your host, Jasmine Kiamber, and I'm just really excited for you to be here today. I'm really excited for you to get what we have for you today. If this is your first time in the classroom, welcome. What School Didn't Teach Me is a podcast where we are here to build community, right? There are some things that we can only learn in the school of life, and why not learn in the school of life together? So we come to this place, to the classroom, to talk about the different things that life throws at us, how we navigate that, and how we can navigate it together. So if you're interested in the community that we've already built here, please subscribe, like this video. If you're listening on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, go ahead and follow us so that you can get all of our future episodes. And yeah, I'd really love to continue building this community with you all. Now, today, y'all, I have a very, very special guest, y'all. We are ending this month of faith, purpose, and ambition. We've talked about a multitude of topics. Last week, we talked about how to not be afraid of your purpose, but we called it like the benefits of unconventional faith. Y'all had my mom on the pod. We have Alicia Rose on the pod, and it's just been a really, really edifying month, a really edifying season. And I'm really, really excited to close the month out with my good friend Aiyana Sha'niel. Yay. I'm really glad to have you.
I'm glad to be here.
Now, you are the author of Little Black Poetry Book.
Yes, indeed.
We're going to insert a clip here. First of all, thank you so much for being so accommodating, because we actually recorded this episode.
Yeah.
We recorded this. Well, not this episode, but we recorded an episode. And that poor episode is no longer used.
It's no longer with us.
But we have the clip for Little Black Poetry Book, so I'm going to insert it here. But you also have another book coming out called Hood Child.
Yeah.
We're very excited for Hood Child. Tell us a little bit about Hood Child, when we should be expecting it, all the things.
Yeah, so Hood Child will be my second official poetry book. It tackles an array of different topics. So I broke it down into, I guess what you could say, 3 different perspectives. Facing my trauma, reminiscence of the growing happy memories that I had in my life, and then what I aspire to be down the road. I titled it Hood Child because I grew up in the hood. I'm a child of the hood. I'm a byproduct of that. But, you know, I'm about to turn 22.
Cali.
I'm about to turn 22. And I wanted to come to terms with my adulthood by reflecting deeply on what has made me who I am today.
Yeah.
The circumstances, the life lessons, the blessings, the omens, the words of wisdom. I wanted to take it in and put all of it in one central space. And so that's how the concept of Hood Child was born. Hopefully, we should be getting it by the end of this year, beginning of next. So that should be December or January. December 2024, January 2025, under Los Angeles Poet Society Press. And yeah.
Wow. First of all, I'm really, really proud of you. I'm just really proud to know you and to be your friend. Like, I am very proud to have such firecrackers among me. Firecrackers among me. Pow, 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 pow. What was I about to say? So a little bit about you, right? Mm-hmm. You are a poet. Obviously, you have 2 poetry books. Mm-hmm. I would love, like, for you to write a novel. I don't know if that's,
I have been
but I would love a piece
thinking
of your brain.
about it. Yeah.
Your brain is spinning in my...
I've been thinking about novel writing. I genuinely don't know what kind of stories are in me, though.
Yeah.
And so I would have to really deeply meditate on that.
I can see you write a mean romance. I can see you write a mean romance novel, like a mean, like, closed door romance novel. That's a soft one.
That's actually funny. I think I would be like a mystery.
You think you would be like a mystery? I can see that, or like sci-fi. Like, I'm sci-fi, political.
In sci-fi, yeah. But sci-fi. I think I'm interested in sci-fi, but the world building behind it is so
tedious.
Yes, and it can be hit or miss. Like, you can build a whole world and people be like, what is this?
Yeah.
Because you have to make up, languages and cultures. And
that's very true.
Like, before no shade, because we don't like J.K. Rowling or however you say her name. But before all of that, with like Harry Potter, what was a Hogwarts?
Yeah.
What are muggles?
Yeah.
What is
those are now very Leviosa?
Things. Yeah. So I've just been thinking about, like, how do you go about that? How do you? Yeah. I'd be interested in it, but I'd need to definitely, like, get in my research bag and, like, learn how previous writers have done that.
Yeah. So novel coming soon. Hey, man.
That's crazy how you heard that, because that is not what came out of my mouth.
That actually is what I heard. That's the sad part. It is what I heard. I heard, like, you're going to do the research, and after you do the research, like, even if it's like 10 years from now, like, it's gonna happen.
Okay, yeah, that's actually fair.
That's what I heard.
That's fair.
But you are a poet.
Yes.
You are a dancer. You are a filmmaker. Yes. You are an artist in so many forms and capacities. You have your exhibit coming up.
Yes.
Which is actually so exciting. Really quick, do you think they're sold out by now?
No.
Okay, so this episode comes out before the exhibit. Your exhibit comes out November 15th.
Yes.
Friday, November 15th. Aiyana Davriel. No, what? You go by Aiyana Sha'niel. Davriel is... Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're good.
Aiyana Sha'niel has a art exhibit called Love is in the House.
Yes.
With, what is that? The Love Art Gallery? What are they called?
Vigilant Love. Vigilant
Love Art Gallery. Here in Los Angeles.
Well, it's actually the Vigilant Love program in the Art Share LA Gallery, actually. Sorry. That's a lie, I know.
No, that's okay. But it's here in LA.
It is.
Yes. So if you're into art, if you're into museums, actually... Yeah. If you're into art, you're into museums, you should definitely stop by. Tell us a little more about that project really quickly.
Yeah, so that project, the Love is in the House, the Darbrielle/Hall archival project, is exactly what it sounds like. It's an archival project with my 2 last names, my maternal and my paternal family. And basically I get into the work of scribing and creating stories around lineage, and uncovering lineages for ourselves, because as someone who is from, of course, the Black diaspora, and the daughter of, an immigrant, I'm first gen Jamaican on my father's side, and on both sides of my family, there is only so far that we can trace our lineage back to. And we know that, of course, that is due to like the transatlantic slave trade and the erasure of Black peoples, Black names, all of these types of things. And it has become increasingly important to me to, one, make sure that I know my family history, and two, continue the work of exploring and finding out as much as I possibly can. And so through recordings from my aunts, through looking at photo archives from various family members, all the way up to my grandfathers and grandmothers and great grandmothers and fathers, and finding things like birth certificates, marriage certificates, all of these types of things, writing about the process of archiving these and creating collage art out of all of these images of my family. And so it's been a very personal project. It's been very cool to have something that is passionate, something that I am passionate about, and something that is deeply personal be seen. And this is actually my first actual physical like art gallery, so I'm very excited for it. That's all I got.
I'm very excited too, so I'm gonna be there. I'm going to list where they can get. Is that okay? Okay, so in the show notes I have like where you can get your tickets. Y'all, the tickets are free, so like
they're free.
Just find your way there. That starts at 4 p.m. Doors open at 4 p.m.
Doors open at 6 p.m. on the Friday. You can also see the exhibit on the Saturday.
Yeah, and it'll be there till 4 p.m. that Saturday. Okay, so
the way you know this, and I just learned this, so
I stared at the flyer.
And that's why,
because I was reading it. But yes, I'm so excited for that project. I'm so excited to see something that is so personal to you, because it takes a whole lot of vulnerability to even put something like that on the spot. And so coincidentally, that is literally exactly what we've been talking about before the camera started rolling. So that's honestly perfect, because with Hood Child coming out, and with this art exhibit, especially with Hood Child coming out, I think it's very cool that right before the cameras were rolling, we literally were like, before the cameras were rolling, we were sitting here talking for like an hour and 30.
It's been an hour and 30.
Literally an hour and 30. Literally just about like our upbringings. Like we are both we both live in LA, but you were born in LA, but you, like you say, you are first gen. Is it first gen American? But you are half Jamaican. Am I saying this right?
Yes. Okay, so I would
don't
say,
make me sound ignorant.
I mean, it's really funny because on my mom's side I'm not, but I would say based on my like experiences, and I was telling my aunts this when I went to go visit them, all of my friends, and this was part of why the LA culture was a little bit hard for me to get into. Because a lot of my friends in middle school and high school were also first gen immigrants from other places. Like one of my homegirls from middle school, who I still talk to this day, was born in Ethiopia. One of my homegirls in high school was first gen Congolese. So it's like all of us had these types of experiences. So even though we either grew up in LA from a very young age, or were born and raised out here like me, we weren't like LA.
Right. There were so many other parts of you.
Right. Too. And it's like, exactly. Like I'm trying to learn as much as I can about my family that currently lives in Jamaica, and culturally what that aspect is like, that I'm not even focused on,
what's the new song out?
What's the new dance out? And it's actually funny that that we talked about my work, because I was actually debating for a cool minute on naming my book Hood Child. Just because, like, even though I grew up in the hood all my life, like, there was never a moment that I was anywhere besides like Inglewood or Leimert or off Crenshaw or Imperial or any of these places.
Just still hood. It's still hood.
But it's the hood. But because I guess like culturally I didn't feel like hood. I was like, is this a little bit imposterish, you know?
And you know what? I have had that thought often, because while I did grow up in the hood, I don't have some of the same experiences that somebody from Compton might. You know what I mean? Like, I have my set stories. Like, yeah, I lived in an apartment building and the apartment building got shot up. Yeah, I was at church and across they was having a shootout. But it was like I did not often feel like I never had a homeboy who died in front of me, or like I never had like, oh, they were fighting, you know, like I did not have certain experiences.
I have had some of those experiences. Not the homeboy dying in front of me, but I definitely had a homeboy who I remember being in the car, like 6 deep in the car, finding out that one of our friends died literally at 19, and everyone stopping, like being shot. Like, that is something I would consider a hood experience, you know? Yeah. And still, I felt like, oh, but I guess because I don't like talk that way, or because I don't like listen to a lot of the music that comes out of that specific area, or because, you know, like not all of my friends are from this one area. Like, those are friends that I hang out with occasionally, that it wasn't valid. But it's like, yes, living in an apartment, like, in, you know, specific areas where my mom's raising us as a single mom, and it's like we walk into the laundromat to go do our laundry, like, that is
that is not a privilege.
That is not an experience based off of privilege, you know?
Right.
Like,
yeah.
So it's weird because it's like this middle ground.
But it's like, why my brain is going so fast right now.
Yeah.
Why do we even have to try and prove how quote unquote hood we are? And I feel that same exact way when we deal with some people who are not black, who want to be a part of the black experience, and then it becomes, and then it becomes an issue of, how black am I compared to you?
Right.
Or things like that. Like, why we are all struggling.
Right.
So why are we trying to categorize our struggle?
Yeah. But part of that ties into the thought that non-black and some black people have of like, your blackness is tied to how much struggle you have.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, no, just because you grew up from the same block as me, or from a worse neighborhood, you can say nigga and you're not black, because you grew through struggle. Why do you think that being black means to go through struggle?
And you know, that was a conversation being had when we were in like middle school, high school. That was a very prominent conversation. Yeah. Like, is black directly associated with struggle? Because when you talk about at-risk youth, low-income communities, who are you thinking about? Right? Like, you're not thinking about white people.
Yeah.
You're not thinking about, like, you're thinking about people who look like you and me.
Yeah.
You know? And that is unfortunate.
Yeah.
That is unfortunate. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man. But yes, like I feel like even though like you and I were talking about before we started rolling, that there were certain things we did not prescribe to, or I was telling you, like, there were certain things that I feel like made me kind of different.
Yeah.
And it made me resent where I live.
Yeah.
For a long time. But I will say, like, there are some joys and some advantages to living, and of course I feel like there are joys and advantages to living in any place with adequate community, but there are joys and advantages and just humor related to living where we do, to living in LA, and specifically in the hood.
My favorite, like, you know, my grandma was off of like she lived in Lamert, and So I loved being in that area because I love Leimert. Leimert is like
Yeah.
second home. Like
Yeah.
to some people, depending on the type of mood I'm in and the day, I'll say I live there because like that was grandma's house. So it's like, you know, it's grandma.
Yeah.
And it's not like we got to go visit grandma. Like grandma lived 15 minutes. So I lived there.
Yeah.
And some of my best memories are the shenanigans that have gone down in Leimert Park because it is something, a new spectacle every day. Like it is such a sight to see. But those types of moments that we get in our community like that can only happen in communities like that, you know?
Yeah.
Like I don't know. It's sort of surreal, low key.
Yes, actually. You do walk around thinking like there's absolutely no way this is happening.
Yeah.
But at the same time it's like because you do not have like because we are under resourced.
Yeah.
You have to get creative and that
Yeah.
looks absolutely insane. Like why are you driving down the street with a trash bag over your car door? Full blast. Actually driving like 90 miles so the trash bag is
My
just
favorite thing is like all the old heads, but like
That
the
just
West
stand outside?
Indie old heads, like in Leimert, that just stand outside.
Yeah.
Because when I was growing up, it was like, okay, I know why I'm here. It's Friday, 3 p.m. School's officially over. Where is your job?
Wait.
Where do you go home to sleep at night? Go there. You're here every day. And then when I became an adult and I got to like be there on weekdays, I was like, oh, y'all genuinely just do this every day.
Be here every
But
day,
you know
yes.
what? I love it. I love it. It's so funny. Like, wait, this is a different situation entirely. But someone like Marcellus, like that.
That's the
Yes.
all white.
Yeah.
Bro.
Someone like Marcellus, you can only get that in our time.
Wait, go.
No, because I love it. I do. I really do. I do.
There are so many not like his piece is going off in my head right now.
We're not
and
gonna
it's
get into that poem.
And it's
We're not gonna get into
but I can't stop thinking about it. It's like I can't even focus on what you're saying. Okay, yes, something like that can only happen. But do you think that can only happen in the hood, or do you think that's just because he's black? For real. Like because he's a black old man who's just who has high libido.
I don't like that.
But he's gonna be like, what's libido?
Stop.
I'm sorry. Okay.
No, yes, I do. I think it's a combination of both. I think it's a combination of both because I feel like no shade, no tea, but when we go to like NoHo, look at the environment that you're in.
Okay, but I think I'm sorry. Let me let you finish.
No. That's it. Like, do you think that
that it's acceptable to act like that?
Not even acceptable, but like culturally, that it would happen.
Okay, here's what I think.
Yeah.
I think that as unfortunate as it is, to a certain degree, the hood is ingrained in our culture, and so even if we take it to somewhere like NoHo, you are who you are. You know what I mean? Like black people will always have, and I'm not saying there'll always be this thing, but they'll always have like the chitlins, the fried chicken. They'll always have the washing your dishes with bleach and the like it's certain. Okay, so some people don't wash their dishes with bleach, so okay, so never mind. Yeah. But they'll always have like do that. They'll always have like the like for me it's like we'll have the Kool-Aid pickles and the you know like there's some things to me that will always be ingrained in black people, and therefore with that some of our humor and mannerisms. Yeah. And I think because like when we get into more affluent environments, people lose that because they have to, like we said before, assimilate to that environment.
Yeah.
I don't think they actually, like, I don't think that actually goes away. I don't
that's my
think
point.
it's like,
it doesn't have to go away.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to go away. But what do you look as a third party viewer, as a bystander to the environments that you would witness?
Yeah.
What casually happens? Whether or not someone's, because to be quite honest, there are some people in our community that absolutely assimilate too. Because like we were saying, sometimes when people are going on about all the movies and the cultures that we are sort of like, I don't really know much about that.
Yeah.
We just get quiet.
Yeah.
That's our assimilation. Instead of being like, I think.
Instead of being like what?
Instead of being like, oh, I actually haven't seen that. And facing the backlash that we know we would
No, I say I haven't seen that.
Really?
I feel like I get enough of that because there are so many movies I haven't seen. Like, I'm going to face up to it because I'm not. It's like, I think I'm used to that expectation of, like, people getting disappointed when I say it.
That's true, because you was talking about your stanky leg earlier. I'm sorry. I apologize. I love you.
But I actually feel like my stinky leg is good. Like, that's the thing.
I saw it. I support you. We're going to work on it.
I felt like my stinky leg was good.
Do you want to do it right now? Oh my gosh. Oh my god.
You see how you just laughed?
No. I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you.
Get your hands on me.
I'm sorry.
But I feel like, okay, yes, to that very point though, I feel like for me, I face up to it.
Yeah.
Because I'm used to people being like, oh, you haven't seen that? Like, oh my God. Like, they be trying, like, I literally get my black card. People try to take my black card every other week. Like, kid you not.
I'm sorry.
Well.
You don't want to mind?
Why do you have more than one? I guess that makes sense because you're Jamaican.
I keep two on me, like dual citizenship.
Why would you say that?
I don't know.
Anyway, how did we get there? Oh, because you were saying that's our assimilation. But
yeah, I always felt like I was sort of assimilating in doing that.
Well, no, I think in that sense you were just preventing an argument. Like, assimilating is more like you do it all the time. Like being acclimating to your environment and like conforming yourself are kind of two different things. Like when I go to the airport, I don't wear my bonnet, and not because I care if somebody wears their bonnet, but because I don't necessarily want to be a part of that conversation.
That's so funny because I do. Yeah. I wear my bonnet.
And I would never be ashamed. If we ever went to the airport together, when we go to the airport together, I will never look at you like, girl, take that bonnet off. Like, no.
I appreciate that because, most of the time I travel with my natural hair.
Yeah, I just won't do it. And so, therefore, I think that's to a degree.
I wouldn't call that assimilating. I'd call that acclimating.
Yeah. So in the same sense, like you using that one moment to be like, let me just not say anything. It's not like, oh, when I get in this room, I'm not going to be who I am. Yeah,
I guess assimilating would genuinely be faking the funk like that to that extent.
Exactly. Yeah.
That actually makes me feel a little better.
Yeah, no. I don't think that's assimilating. No.
Okay. Well, then that changes a little bit of my point that I forgot what my point was. But I still do believe that there are people assimilating in our community the same way that others would go and assimilate in a different community as well.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think, like the meme is like, in the club, we all fam. I think, it's like, why do you act like that in the club? Yeah. Do you think we act like that in the club?
Yeah, or there's one thing that, because I have friends from everywhere, right? Yeah. And so I have some friends who are Valley friends, and Valley folk talk different from LA folk. And I'll feel bad because I'll be hanging out with, like, because they live in the valley, I'm not hanging out with them all the time. Like, I'm not driving out there, they're not coming out here.
Yeah.
We gonna see each other once every 2 years.
Yeah.
That's an exaggeration, y'all. I love my friends. But when I do see them, it'll be like months at a time, and I'll be talking, and I'll notice progressionally, I don't know if that's a word.
Yeah.
How they talk when we first start hanging out versus by the end of the day. They'll start to mimic my speech patterns. And I feel bad because I don't want to call it out and be like, you don't have to do that. I understand blackness comes in all sounds, shapes, environments. Even if we're from like Southern California, you're not less black than me because you grew up in the valley.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't want to make it uncomfortable and say that, but I also don't want them to have to do that.
You don't want them to do that at all.
I don't want them to do that at all, because also then I feel bad and I start being aware of how I talk.
Yes.
Because then I'm like,
it's bad for everybody involved.
Damn, do I sound like that to y'all all the time? And it's like, well, I probably do.
But I think everybody has to come to their own.
Yeah.
You know, everybody has to come to their own. And of course well, no, that's not even something that I personally will point out. Like, I would never give you advice that I wouldn't follow. So
that's actually real.
I would never do that.
Yes, let's be mindful about the advice we give. Don't tell nobody something you wouldn't do. Yes,
I be telling the classmates, I'm like, I won't talk about anything that I haven't gone through. And I was literally just talking to somebody yesterday, and I was telling them, like, sometimes I'd be talking on the pod, and then by the end of the pod, by the end of the episode, I'd be like, whoa, that was about me. Like, that was so for me. I hope that helped somebody else, but I actually need to follow my own advice. So no, that's not something I would call somebody out on, but it's like they've got to come to their own self-acceptance, because that's really what it is. Like, just like I was telling you, like how when I was in high school, somebody told me I was too cheery. Yeah. Like, I tried to assimilate. I tried to conform to my environment of people who, like, literally hated life and made it very clear that they did, and made everybody else's life miserable. Yeah, I tried that. It did not last for me. So I had to come to my own self-acceptance. Like, this is who I am. I like who I am. The only reason I'm acting different is because of what somebody else said. Yeah. Right? Same thing for people who feel like, same thing for people who get called Oreos all the time, or people who live in the valley. We were just talking about this earlier with me, like, not my aunt calling me out and then me. I can't remember. Let's actually rewind. If we recorded that earlier, I feel like I said contradictions and I meant conjugations. So no, I feel like I said conjugations, but that's gonna drive me insane if I didn't. Okay. So we're pausing that and then I'll come back. Yeah. But when my aunt called me out for not using conjugations in my normal dialect, and I became so mindful of it, like, I, as a kid, did not say ain't, did not say finna, did not say, I don't even think I said gonna most of the time. I said going to. Yeah. And I never thought anything that about it. I just thought we all talk differently. Yeah. And I had to have been about 7 because now it's a part of my speech, and sometimes I wish that I didn't do that to assimilate, because who cares? Like, why was it so bothersome to you that you felt the need to call me out as a young child, saying you talk weird, like, you don't use conjugation, like, you don't sound like us, like, like, who cares? But that goes back to, like you were saying, about invalidating a certain struggle. And I don't know if we said that after the introduction, but when we were talking earlier about how, like, people try to categorize your blackness or your nativeness, your hoodness, by the amount that you've struggled. Yeah. And if you don't sound like me, if you don't this and the third, if you don't eat XYZ, oh, you not black. I used to get so much shit for not eating hot chips, and it's just because I have a weak stomach. Oh, okay. I have a weak stomach, guys. And all of the time. Wait, you have a weak stomach, but you be eating all that spicy Jamaican food? It's the artificial spice. I genuinely feel like it. I literally thought about that after I said it. No. That's fair, because I was confused by it too. And people be like, "Oh, you don't like spice? You don't like spice?" That red 40. I don't like that red 40 dye. Yeah. Like, I knew a homegirl that. You got a good stomach. One of my friends in high school,
she used to eat Takis like every day, and I can't remember why she went to the hospital, because she wasn't like my friend, but she was someone I was around. But it definitely had to do with her stomach, and to this day I believe it was because she literally came into our first period class like 8 a.m. eating a bag of Takis. That's not good.
On the same note, what were you about to say?
Oh, but that's it. I don't eat the same food. I'm sorry.
On the same note of people ingesting weird things,
where is this going?
When I was in elementary school, first of all, and that's the crazy thing, like, I have always been in like spaces where black was the minority, so to be called an Oreo was very much a lot. Like,
that's funny, because if I'm in an Oreo, we in the same pack. What are we talking about?
But when I was in elementary school,
yes,
I had this homegirl. Her name was Sienna, but not
yeah.
Her name was Sienna, and she was Hispanic, and her being Hispanic has nothing to do with the story. It just was, she wasn't black. I think I had like one black friend at that school, two, and one of them ended up leaving. Okay, anyway, and she used to eat pencils, like pencil lead and toilet
Nothing
paper.
Could have prepared me for this.
And she used to tell me multiple things. She used to just eat all things she shouldn't have, because she used to tell me like she would not technically enjoy her dinner, but would go to the bathroom and eat the toilet paper, and then in front of me she would like her pencil lead.
Oh, so you saw it?
So I saw it, and then I also saw her, like for her birthday candle. It was her birthday one time, or it was somebody's birthday.
Like where this is going.
And she like ate the candle, and I was like, "Is it edible?" Because they always look like they have frosting and things, and I'm green. I don't know anything.
I've never seen an edible candle.
No, it was not edible.
Yeah,
she was like, it's edible. Like,
everything's edible if you bite hard enough.
Yeah, and I'm like, I knew. No. I didn't know, like, whether or not to believe her, but I knew that something was wrong there. And I pray, no shade, like, no disrespect. I pray she never developed an eating disorder, because...
My question, like...
Why are you eating that?
Do you know where she is?
Why were you skipping dinner to eat toilet paper from the bathroom?
No,
Do I know where she is? I wish I did, because I wish I could see what she looks like right now. Like,
yeah, sure my thing is like, people die from those types of things.
Jesus.
No shit. No, seriously.
You're real. No.
Yeah, like that's concerning. Like if I had a classmate who used to eat erasers as a kid, and my teacher used to like hide all the pencils. And she would take all the erasers off.
Oh God!
And yeah, it was bad. But I genuinely think about him all the time, because we would see him eat it. We would see him eat the erasers. Yeah. So like those types of kids in my classes, I'm like, I really just hope they're alive.
Yeah.
Because that's like not good, especially for like a developing body.
Yeah, it's like that's not.
Like tissue is bleached.
Oh.
Like it's not naturally white. It's bleached.
Yeah. Well, Sienna, if you're out there, I'm praying for you.
Girl.
I hope you're okay. I hope you eat like mashed potatoes, and I hope you eat like real stuff.
That's not funny, but that was a little funny. I'm sorry. She said, put the lead pencils down.
Put them down.
Pick up a licorice.
Like, real talk, like, you should just break the pencil. Like, you could not leave your pencil around in front of her. Kid you not.
That's wrong.
Like, she would, like, yeah, she ate one of my pencils. Like,
stop. That's not funny.
Yeah, and it was like, it's one thing for you to do it for shock value. It's another thing for you to like.
That's what I was thinking at first, because some kids really just did that type of stuff for shock value.
And to this day, like, she could have been doing it for shock value and been very convincing.
No, but like, committing to the bit for that long.
Committing to the bit is like, you could not have gotten me, even if I was joking, you could not have gotten me to actually eat the lead.
Yeah, that's different. Because I've done something like that where it's like
bite the eraser for sure.
Like paper, yeah, or like like regular paper. No, you're looking at me like
regular paper.
Yeah,
And like eat it?
Like rip it. Like rip a little corn off and be like, you've never done
little.
Exactly.
You can get me to swallow it though.
I'm not gonna exactly. But I'm saying like we'll do a little ha ha.
Yeah.
But I'm not committing to the bit as far as like ingesting.
Yeah, she would like do it and then she would be like and then lift her tongue. Like she would show me and I would be so mind you, this is like my 4th year in Los Angeles.
You thought we was all pencil eaters.
Different. Y'all are just different in this room. Y'all are different in this state. But yeah, it was just very like these people are different. Yeah.
That's actually valid. That's valid.
Yeah.
Like if I moved somewhere and one of the first people I interacted with was like picking up bricks and like eating it.
He's like, my
traditions. Did not know this is how they get down in London. Okay.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. But it's like, yeah. Dang, how did we get here?
I have no clue. And I feel like we talked about this last time. Because remember I was saying, dang, we keep like.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But it's good. But my issue is you always come back to it. You remember. Me, it's literally a train. Once we left the stop.
Oh, my God.
It's closed.
I'm good at, like, backtracking the conversation.
You really are. It's impressive because I will be, like, we'll be finishing up a conversation that's, like, clearly we segued.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, how did we get here? And you'll be like, so the da-da-da. And I'll be like, oh, my gosh. I needed this. I did. Because me and the rest of my friends, we'd be sitting at each other looking stupid. Like, do you remember? Oh my gosh, me and Michaela is bad.
Oh God.
It's bad.
I try. I think I'm used to like hopping from conversation to conversation. And it's and when I forget my point, you know, you backtrack. When you forget what you said when you walked into a room, you just walk back out. So to me it's like that. But
that has never worked for me.
No.
Oh. It'll be like 10 minutes later. I'll walk into a room, be like, what was I supposed to do? And then I'll walk out and I'll be like, maybe I'll go back in. I'll look, I'll be like, nope. I'll go to my room, sit down, get on my phone. I was supposed to turn off the stove. 10 minutes later.
Oh Lord.
It's bad.
Now the noodles are burnt.
And
the kids can't
Mom says
pasta.
It smells. That's why when I'm doing something, I have to stay.
Yeah.
But that's also part of the thing where I can just like tune because I can't physically leave. Because if I physically leave,
you'll never remember.
I'm gonna
Goodness gracious.
But I can sit there like I'll be cooking. So my house is like kitchen, dining room, living room, hallway, bathroom, bedrooms.
Okay.
And so when I'm cooking, I'll literally cook in the kitchen, sit at the dining room chair facing the kitchen and just
killing me. That's killing me.
And then I'll tune and be like, okay, I was cooking. Like, but if I go and do something else, like if I'm like, oh, I'm cooking. Oh, let me go change the stuff from the dryer to the washer. Let me go take the trash out. Let me go, and then I'll come back and I'll cook. I will have done those tasks, got back in the house, and been like, time to watch Bob's Burgers. Forgetting the food is on the stove. Forgetting the original task.
Have you ever like burnt something like that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not. It's definitely when I was younger and I used to cook because I started cooking from a very young age. And it wouldn't get bad, but it would be like, oh, I put the chicken on the stove. Oh, I lost track of whatever. Oh, the bottom of the chicken's burnt.
Oh, okay.
Dang it. Or something in the oven where I'll like leave cookies in for too long. But it's never been like charcoal black, like house finna burn
that
down.
Happened to me.
Really?
Yeah, like I was making hot dogs and I forgot about the hot dogs to the point where like all the water.
I was about to say, because you gotta boil that.
But it takes so long for water to boil down to that degree. So how long was it forgotten?
To the point where it boiled and then charcoal.
Yes. So it looked like it was from the grill. I still ate them.
No, you were not supposed to tell me that. I respect it. I sure do eat my burnt cookies.
I can't do burnt cookies.
Most of the time, it's not so bad though. I just pick around,
Oh,
especially
okay.
because I only really like chocolate stuff. So I'll like if it's burnt, like as long as the chocolate chips aren't burnt.
I want to make some cookies. I went somewhere and they had cookies. I went to Bible study, and Julia made cookies, and she'll be there tomorrow.
Really?
Yes.
I was hoping so.
Yes, I was like, okay, they've already
Yay!
That's really cool.
Yay!
But she had made cookies, and I was eating one. She was looking at me like, and I was like, I know I'm not supposed to have it. Like, I'm not supposed to be eating this cookie, but I ate 3 of them, and they were so good. And I'm like, I need to make my own cookies because I'm clearly craving sweet.
I've been wanting to make brownies recently.
Oh.
I love brownies.
You know what? They have like a sweet potato brownie recipe. I want to get into that.
Wow. You know what I tried the other day?
Huh?
I went to an El Salvadorian restaurant, and I didn't know that you can make like tamales with other types of things besides corn.
The what?
Tamales.
Oh, tamales with other things besides corn. Like
I
inside.
had a plantain tamale.
Like that was the wrap made out of.
Oh my God. When I say that was the craziest thing I've ever eaten, because I sort of like tamales, but it's not my favorite because I don't really like the corn, like husk of it. Like I don't like how it gets mushy. I don't like the texture, taste of it.
Yeah.
Oh, because the plantain was so soft and moist that it held everything so good. And like I'm from the West Indies. That's literally everything we eat. Yeah. And I don't like every version of like plantains. I don't like them like super hard fried. I can eat them like mashed. But the point being, like, it was a texture that I really, really liked. And I was like, this is a game changer.
We should go there.
We should. It was in downtown LA. We can go.
I've heard of people making like dessert style tamales.
Yeah. I've seen some of those.
Did you know that like in other cultures, avocados are sweet and they use them for dessert?
Yes, that's a very popular like island thing.
That.
Yeah,
I didn't know that, and I'm interested in trying it. I'll admit that I'm a little fearful because I'm so used to avocados being used.
No, yeah, but it like you said, it's a different like variation of avocado or variant of avocado, and it's like a little bit sweeter. People eat it with like condensed milk, like ice cream. I've seen it like blended and put on different desserts. I'm not the biggest avocado fan, so I try them with anyways, so I eat them with hesitancy, but
avocados don't like you either.
That's fine. They can take their green butts on somewhere else. What now?
My house.
Yes, that's actually fine. We'll make that work.
Okay, you eat them with hesitancy?
Yeah, but I've tried I can't remember actually what it was. I tried an avocado-based dessert.
Yeah.
It was an avocado ice cream.
Yeah.
With a bread. A sweet bread. It was really good. It's really good. I actually prefer it that way because I don't really like this avocados when they're with savory stuff. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm interested in trying it. So dessert tamales, plantain tamales, and sweet avocados. That was so fun.
And I was like, I didn't know this existed. Like, I was bewildered. I was, whoa.
So where have you been all my life?
Where have you been all my life? Yeah, it was good.
Wow. On that same note, but a completely different one, Rihanna really used to rule.
What? No, I follow, but that's it. I follow. Continue.
Rihanna really used
That's
to
really
rule.
stereotypical of you. You know that?
Why?
You said, island. West Indies, avocados.
Whoa.
Let me just throw Aiyana in this conversation.
Whoa! It was actually it was actually because you said, "Where have you been all my life?"
You know,
so really, you're racist.
I can do that though. She's a hop, skip, and a jump away from where I come. That's fair.
And you project that on me.
because I was in the R&B world. Wow, it's the way that
I'm
did not
so
click for
genuine.
me
I
at
was like,
all.
dang, you just gonna lump us all together. Okay.
Wow, that would have been so much.
I would have laughed.
No,
That's
I
funny.
was actually the whole.
No, that's actually fair.
I was like, let me not sing it and interrupt our conversation. But we were talking about music earlier.
Yeah.
We were talking about music earlier.
Yeah.
And we were talking about like the songs that kind of ruled the early 2000s, the early 2010s, and like the 2008, 2009, the years leading up to it. Rihanna.
Yeah.
In like the 2010s.
Yeah.
Ruled the world.
Yeah.
Like she opened the door in 2008 and ran through it, because the music video for Rude Boy was so unhinged and yet was so good.
I used to love that song. And it's so funny because Rihanna always had some real nasty topics.
Exactly. So I was like, yo, I cannot hear.
Nasty topics, but a hit's a hit.
I'll never forget when I told my mom that Unfaithful was my favorite song by her, and she was like, it is? Yes. Did you hear her sing about how it pains her to cheat on this man? Cause I know that he knows I'm unfaithful and it kills him inside.
Yeah, okay.
That rang in my brain.
That's funny.
Because Rihanna, I hear you. Cheat on him if you have to. You should leave him. But I hear you. Like, I understand. Then she had these banging music videos, like with What's My Name?
Yeah.
Which was my song. And with Man Down.
Oh,
Man Down used to give me
sang Man Down at a talent show.
Really?
And no one stopped me from talking about killing a man.
Well,
no one stopped. I was definitely...
Who would? Essentially, it was Rihanna.
And that's my point. A hit is a hit.
She was just
what was
so
that one song called? S&M? Was it S&M?
Yes.
That used to be my...
And
I remember when that song came on, they sang that song on Pitch Perfect, and I think that was the first time in a while that I had really heard that song and got to process the lyrics with my almost adult brain.
Yeah.
And I was like, I was definitely singing the song at 6.
That was one of few songs of hers that I did not hear. Probably for a reason. Yeah, like that I didn't. I
loved that song. I used to hear it all the time on the radio. We would be driving to school, and that song came on the radio at like 7:30 in the morning.
Goodness.
And I'm just like, yeah, I may be bad, but I'm perfectly good at it. What now?
Yeah, no, I knew that role.
Yeah.
I mean that line, but like I hadn't heard the song for real. Like you couldn't, if you had asked me S&M, I wouldn't be able to tell you how the song went for real.
I used to know all the words. Like, sticks and stones may break my bones, but chains and whips excite me.
Yes.
What are chains and whips
and I
to
thought, whoa,
a minor? I don't know what I'm talking about. Actually, that might have been where my head processed.
Probably
at some point.
You still shouldn't have been singing that.
And either way, I shouldn't have been singing
that.
What
I thought was so spicy was Bad with her and Wale. Is it bad that I never made love? It was her, and then he ended up doing it with another girl for whatever reason. Like he made the same song with 2 different women.
I definitely remembered hearing the other girl.
Okay. Yeah, it was her at first.
That's
bad
interesting.
Girls and the girls ain't no fun. And it was like, and the bad girls.
That's so funny. I can't listen to Wale anymore because no. It's not even. Someone tried to serenade me with a Wale song.
What song? What's the song he did with SZA? Oh God, Lotus Flower Bomb.
Yeah. And every time I hear that song,
I'm gonna sing it for you.
No, please don't. Right no. Because I felt bad because I could sing, and the first date we went on was like a talent show, and I could sing, and I sang, and then he sang.
Right.
And I just remember my body freezing.
Oh,
Like that was the first. And I don't get like embarrassed or feel uncomfortable very often. That was the first time I was like, everyone knows this is about me right now.
Bye. I've never been serenaded. I wouldn't be serenaded.
No. Every time I've been serenaded, it's been bad.
Well, is it bad?
No, stop.
We deserve to be serenaded the right way.
Yeah.
I pray the
No,
next
it's got to be
person
the right
who
way
sings with
because
you, sings to you, sings well, and maybe
Me
a
too.
song in Spanish.
Yeah,
That'd be nice.
preferably a song in Spanish. All right. Anyone who knows Ralphie Pagan, if you want to sing that song to me, I will be serenaded. Or any song by that artist. Yeah. Anyways, I would argue that it's worse to be serenaded and the song be horrendous than to not be at all. Wow. I would take some flowers. I will take some chocolates.
Oh, it's worse to be serenaded and it be bad than not at all. Oh,
yeah, because then it ruins the song for you too.
I would think it's like, wow, you put your whole pride on the line to sing this for me.
You would think that.
That's so endearing.
You would think that
you're bad at this.
I think the issue has been that the people that I've been serenaded by didn't know that.
Didn't know.
Yeah.
Okay. See, if I knew I couldn't sing,
it'd be different if you tried to play like a like I love my girl. Y'all. No, it was like a genuine like. You think someone's gonna go out there and be like Barry White or Charlie Wilson or someone, and they end up sounding like Ice JJ Fish.
Oh,
yeah.
Ooh, on that same note, 3 things.
Don't take this somewhere like Rihanna again. We will have to pause and I'll have to go to the restroom. What are you about to say?
One, I really love Charlie Wilson. That was like one of my first loves. Like I should have never loved a grown man like I did Charlie Wilson.
I saw him at the Hollywood Bowl. He was so good. He's such a great performer.
He's so great.
And he's so nice. Like he had conversations with like the audience and he was telling us about his journey, you know, his drug addiction that he got over.
About his testimony.
He did a whole intermission about his testimony.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and I was like Mr. Charlie, I have known your game, last name Wilson, but I did not know it like this.
No, yes. Every single concert, he does not forget to tell his testimony. Like every single concert, he will tell his story over and over again. And for that, I will listen every single time.
As he should, because it was powerful.
So 1, I love Charlie Wilson, so you bring him up. Yes. I cannot 2. Dorian told me 2. You know who I feel like is a really good mashup, who really needs to make an album together?
Who?
Masego and Pharrell Williams.
I've never thought about that, but
like Silk Sonic, I need them to make their own album.
And no shade, no tea to Silk Sonic, but I think that would be like 20 times better.
They are so freaking like I hear their voices together. Hear it. Like if you think of what's the song Get Lucky, and you think of You Never Visit Me.
Okay.
You hear me?
I hear you.
Goodness
I see the
gracious.
vision.
I want it bad. 3. I told Dorian this, and when I was telling him, like, you know who would be a good mashup? He was like, you and Ice JJ Fish? And I was like,
whoa. Please tell me you fought back.
I was like, no. No, not him. But Pharrell and Masego. Like, actually, you're so rude.
Oh my gosh. Shout out to Dory. I love you, actually. You're so... No, don't do that.
Cricket.
No, don't do that to my friend. Don't do that to my friend.
Oh, okay, my
You know what's so funny? Because I was talking to Dory. And no, stop shaking your head. Well, first off,
he bullies me.
it was so funny when we tag teamed you. I'm so sorry.
But wait, you don't tag team me, and then somebody else texts me like, I actually also asked you to watch a show with me, and you never did.
So clearly,
watching a show with them.
The problem, the common denominator. Did we reflect?
So I feel like it takes me a while to watch a new show. What happened with me, you, and Dorian is a completely different story because I feel like he told me to watch the show first, and then you told me to watch the show.
That might have been true. Yeah.
So you tag teamed me for no reason because what you said.
The point being, I look up and you're watching the show and you didn't even tell me. That's where I felt betrayed.
I told you I was watching the show.
But not to the extent that you were in it. Like, I didn't know that this could have been a whole book club type beat. Like, we could have all been together, kumbaya. No, we're past that. No, we're past that. The gauntlet has been thrown.
What I desire is community, right? I think that's very clear. What I desire is community. So what I ask is that the three of us find a show that we can watch together because what I said was true. Me and Dorian were supposed to watch something totally different. What
were you guys supposed to watch?
We were supposed to watch Lupus. We were either supposed to watch Lupus or Supercell.
Oh, I haven't seen Supercell.
And I want to see them, and he's like paddling his little feet. And
Don't do that.
No, it's not for real. So I'm like, okay. So we watched something else. We watched something else because the way my Netflix was, like sometimes Netflix will only let you watch one person at a time. So we couldn't watch it. So we watched The Bear. I didn't think, and he was like, oh yeah, I've seen it, but it's so dramatic. It's so dramatic. He gave no indication that he liked it. So I was just like, we're probably not gonna come back to this show. Yeah, but I'm enjoying it. Yeah, so I'm just gonna watch it.
Have you finished it?
No. So he literally, we got on the phone. He literally was like,
"Apply."
So where are you in The Bear? And I was like, I haven't even continued watching it yet. Like I'm on season 2. I am, but I'm on like season 2, episode 7, and I've been there for months. And I'll watch it and like I'll binge it, and then that's what I'll do to shows. I'll binge it and then I'll watch it again in like 2-3 months.
Yeah, that's real.
Yeah. So where am I? Season 2, episode 7, where they are trying to open it as The Bear.
Okay, can you guys catch up? Because I'm in the middle of season 3.
Wow. So first I get scrutinized because I watched the show, and now I'm not watching the show fast enough. Whoa. I want you to see where I am the victim and how I am never the winner in this situation.
Whoa. Because I think that...
No, tell me you see it. Look in the camera and tell me that you see where I'm coming from.
No. Okay. Yes. No. That's fair. I understand because Dorian and I don't watch shows together.
Yeah.
But we always end up watching the same types of shows. Yeah. Because I think our casual tastes are very similar in a lot of things. Because Dorian and I, the thing we do is we share music all the time.
Yeah.
Like. So that being said. Yeah, you're in the middle of like a seesaw. I get it.
So I just would like all tension removed off me because
I still think
doing my best.
That's the common denominator. Is you
so
there?
You are trying to make me the problem here, though.
Well, I'm not saying you're the problem.
I feel like you're making me the problem, but I'm not.
You guys can't see my socks.
I'm not the problem. What are he and I watching now though? Only Murders in the Building. That's what. Oh yeah.
Oh, because I understand that because I watched that with my mom, so I wouldn't watch it with anyone else. No,
oh my gosh! And then I got in trouble for that.
How'd you get in trouble for that?
I got in trouble for that because he and I were watching Abbott Elementary. Yeah. And then me and my mom were also watching Abbott Elementary. And my mom, like, she wants to watch it the day it comes out, but Dorian wants to binge
That's what my mom and I do. We watch the day it comes out.
I'm fine either way.
Yeah.
Because I want to see it.
Yeah.
But, like, I was watching it with the both of them. And so they both were like, yes. It was both like, you've seen this newest episode? You've seen it already? So that's why I got in trouble. Because
that's what you need
you're a cheater.
Is some boundaries and regulations is what I'm hearing. Because the shows I watch with my mama, I really don't watch with anyone else. Because I know they're going to be mad. Because my mom, we will sit like every night that we eat dinner, we watch something.
Yeah.
And so normally, because my mom likes to watch new shows because she doesn't really binge.
Yeah.
And when my sister and I tried to binge stuff with her, it took too long because she would only watch 1 or 2 episodes at a time.
Oh, that's terrible.
And then Aiyana and I would be like, Mom, we finished the season last night. You went to bed. And she would be mad at us.
Yeah.
And so Aiyana and I learned that, like, to watch a show with our mom, you have to start a new show.
Watch it week by week.
Watch a show that's only 1 season deep or is releasing episodes every week, because then you can get her to watch and you'll always be up to it. And you can't go any further because it's only releasing. And so that being said, like, I watched Only Murders in the Building with my mom. I watched WandaVision with my mom. I watched we're in the middle of watching Agatha All Along with.
How is that?
I am enjoying it so far. I have a few issues, but I think overall I see the vision.
Okay.
And I liked how the writing has gone. And even though a lot of the things I have predicted, it's only because I wanted them to happen.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, that's what I do. Like, sometimes it's funny because when I'm watching shows, I'll watch and I'll predict stuff, but it'll be like, I'm predicting this because this is cheap. Like, this is so easy to figure out what's happening next. Yeah. Or it'll be like, please tell me this is about to happen.
Yeah.
And that's when I put, like, my writer's brain on. And I'm like, oh, if they want to do this good, they're going to do this step.
Yeah.
And so when they do that step, I'm like, yes, this is why I was in the room where it happened. Don't start. And so, because...
No, keep talking. I'm doing my best right now.
So, because of that, I like to predict stuff. But back to what I was saying, I start new shows with my mom. And we go episode by episode as it releases. Shows that I want to watch, I reach out to different friends. And then with my partner, because it's hard for Jay to watch. I think it's hard for both of us to watch a show that neither of us have seen, because we just get distracted when we're with each other. So we have to watch a show that one of us has seen before, because we're anticipating the other person seeing, like, the thing, you know? Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense, but that's also hilarious.
It's really funny. We've tried to start so many new shows.
Yeah.
We've only gotten through, like, maybe 2 or 3 shows that neither one of us has seen. Like, everything else. But we've watched so many shows and movies together.
Have you watched The Second Best Hospital in the World with them?
Yeah. But I watched it by myself first. Yeah. And I was like, this is so good. Yeah. And then I forced them to watch it like 3 times. Yeah. 3, 4, 5, 6. A few times. Yeah. Thank you, babe.
That's fair. Okay.
But yeah, so that's how I sort of function.
Yeah, you're right. I do have trouble saying no in that capacity, because I just be like, you want to bond? Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yes, but it has, what's done in the dark comes through the light, and cheaters always get found out. So
exactly.
Wow. So it always ends up being like, yeah, I always end up getting caught. So Dorian is specifically her over this particular show, because this is not the first time.
Insecure or
over
The Bear.
The Bear, because we were watching Abbott, and I was cheating on him with Abbott, and now we were watching The Bear.
Don't put quotations like you didn't do it.
And I didn't even know that we were gonna come back to The Bear, but we did, and so I'm cheating on him with The Bear too, and now he won't even watch it with me, and I'm like, bro, like, let's just keep.
That's
going.
So funny. Let me reach out to Dory, because no, don't look at me like that now. Don't look at me like that. You on season 2, episode 7?
You're on season 3.
I need someone to watch The Bear with me, because Jay's not gonna watch it.
I want you both to do some very not positive things that I will not say on the podcast.
Oh my gosh!
And I just ask that if you two start watching The Bear, that you invite me, because I will not be villainized and excluded like this.
I don't know that we're in the mood for an open relationship right now. I'm sorry.
Nothing is open about this relationship. It's the three of us.
No. Wait, because I don't watch any shows with Dory.
You're so trifling.
No,
Let's
I'm
watch
not.
something different.
I actually would be down.
You're
No.
gonna start a show. You're gonna. That's like when you hear that somebody. That's like when you hear your new coworker, like your coworker, like break up with their girlfriend. You be like, hold on, let me go see if I can pat them on the shoulder. That's
That
exactly
is
what you're doing
nothing
right
like
now.
what that is like.
That's
I don't like that
exactly what you're doing.
implication at all.
That's exactly what you're doing.
I will not stand for the slander.
So what show are we gonna watch all three of us together?
I don't know actually. What show would you want to watch?
You Negroes figure it out. Well, shucks. I'm not often looking for a new show. I was watching this show on Hulu called Queenie, and it was about a girl in her 20s who just navigating her 20s. Like, she literally, trigger warning, but she literally like goes through. She literally finds out that she's pregnant and goes through a miscarriage in the first episode.
That is much for me.
But it's not like this whole big thing. It's just like it's crazy because it becomes such a minor part in the show.
Okay.
And it just becomes like like how we are, like the way we present ourselves are really how we react to like the things that happen to us. So like she has a boyfriend who thinks she has a white boyfriend who thinks that she's like really mean all the time and angry all the time, and it's just not a happy person. But it's like, and she wants to tell him like, I just went to the hospital, and when I went to the hospital they took a baby out of me, like that. She wants to tell him all these things, but he's just seeing her as this thing. So then like they break up, and she like starts trying to figure out, okay, what does that mean for her? What kind of dating life can she have? What about her friends? How do her friends fit in the picture? What about her work? She goes through an incident at work. Like, it's her trying to navigate her 20s all while, and like she's Jamaican.
Oh, okay.
So like it's her, and it's a little bit of backstory about her family and how like her family wasn't all that she thought it was going to be. This estranged relationship with her mother. Like, it's a very, very good.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's coming of age because she's already in her 20s and just developing.
I would consider it coming of age because I feel like Insecure is coming of age, and she's like mid-20s.
Yeah. Okay. So it's like a coming of age show for our age group.
Yeah.
So I was watching that, and I was looking for somebody to watch that with, but I finished the show. It was one season. It was very good. I suggest you watch it.
Okay.
Because it was very good. But I don't often like look for other shows to watch while I'm watching a show.
Yeah,
I just like, oh, okay, let me focus on this show.
It's so funny because I don't do that. And so when I finished that show, oh my God. When Atlanta ended.
Sea of abyss.
When Atlanta ended, you would have thought I was grieving. Like, I was mourning. Like
what am I doing myself?
I remember watching the series finale and showing up to work the next day.
Oh my God.
And being like, please give me a second. I'm sorry. It's just Donald Glover. Like, oh my God, is he alive? Like, I remember being like, dang, like a chunk of me is gone right now.
Wow.
But that's how I feel when it shows I'm really, 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 really invested in.
I feel like that's how I'm gonna feel if and when Bob's
Burgers
ends. I feel like I'm
the
gonna
day
be
Bob's
like,
Burgers ends, we're holding a service.
because I feel like I've watched the previous episodes so many times. I've watched the reruns.
Are you kidding me?
It's like I don't want.
I for sure can quote some lines verbatim from the show. Like, that is my show. The bit from I love the pilot episode so much when they throw the toothpicks on the ground and Gina's like, Tina, how many toothpicks are on the ground right there? And Tina's like 100, and he's like, no, it's 3. And then Louise is like, she's the worst type of autistic. She can't even count. And I know that's probably like not the best, but like, I remember watching the pilot and being like, I have been waiting for this my entire life. And like we were talking about episodes back and back and back. Like that is my show. That's my show.
Yeah.
Like how we were just talking about The Simpsons. Like how some people feel about The Simpsons.
Yeah.
I feel like Bob's Burgers is our The Simpsons, but like 20 times better.
Yeah, because it's actually funny.
Yeah.
And Bob isn't like useless. Like there's no like incompetent. I don't like the incompetent dad thing.
It's the worst trope ever because we already live that so commonly. Yes. Why do we need more shows about it? Stop giving us dopey, lazy husbands that are not useful or helpful and almost not faithful all of the times. And the wife is just like beautiful and smart and independent and raises the kids on her own and is like, but I still love him anyways. Marge Simpson, you're a baddie with a body. Girl, go get a new man. What are you doing? What are you doing? Marge.
No, yeah, you're onto something.
Hello. There's one episode of The Simpsons where this guy, he's a creep though, so we don't want her to get with him either. But there are multiple episodes of different guys like trying to win Marge. And Archie was like a billionaire. He was throwing money all over her. There was one guy that was teaching her something. I forget whether it was a language or a sport, but he spoke like French or something like that. And every time she was just like, but I love Homer. And then the next episode is Homer going to Las Vegas and getting married to 2 hookers while being drunk. I kid you not. The episodes that I have just stated are real episodes.
Oh, well, yeah.
Homer gets drunk and tries to cheer up the Flander neighbor after his wife dies, I believe. And they go to Vegas and they get drunk and they come back married to 2 hookers. And they have to figure out how to get divorced from the hookers. And then there's another episode where later down the line, a few seasons later, they call back to that episode because they didn't properly divorce the hookers. So the hookers come to their house and show up and live in their houses. And meanwhile, Marge is being wined and dined and still chooses her husband.
Yeah, no, that's bad. Yeah, no, I don't like it.
I don't like it.
Wait, on that same note of like, on that same note, you know who I feel like deserved way better?
Who?
Miriam from Courage the Cowardly Dog. Like
stupid dog.
How you feel about Homer, I feel about
Eustace. Eustace is mean and nasty. He's so evil.
It's like you're ugly. You're mean.
You're loud.
The dog is a sweet dog.
And mind you, the dog is always right. Let's get into that.
Your wife
those types of tropes
carried away by aliens.
I can only watch those types of tropes for so long. Where it's like the whole premise of the show is the main character is right and everyone else around him is like, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. So they have to like just do everything. Like I watched Paranorman last week.
I was about to say what other shows. Okay.
Paranorman because it was it's Halloween season.
Right.
And I was like, my favorite movie is Coraline, and I was like, okay, it's like the 20th time I've watched Coraline in the past 2 months. Let me try something else. And I turned on Paranorman and I watched the entire movie and I was like, I don't remember the fact that literally, but I remembered why I don't really like that movie. The entire time, the town, his parents, his sister, all of the like people that end up supposedly helping him, the only one who had his back was his one individual friend. And not even to the full extent. Like they were consistently, and mind you, his gift was literally talking to people who were deceased. So it's like there are literally zombies in your face right now, and you're yelling at him, calling him a loser when you know he's the only one that can actually solve this situation and talk to them.
Is that on? That's on Disney Plus?
I don't know. I watched it with my mom. She put it on. I think she watched it on like some free app.
You know what example of that really hurts me? Chicken Little. One little slam.
But I like Chicken Little because I like Abby and Runt. Abby. Ace. Abby. Ace.
Yo.
Wait. Now I have to go home and watch Chicken Little.
Yeah,
No, I agree. I think that the town was neutral, but it didn't help that the dad was dumb.
They were not neutral.
They were they heard him out though. Like they would come and show up, and then when it would be like, okay, you're talking, but you don't really have any evidence, and then then they get frustrated, rightfully so. But you know who failed? His father.
Not too much. Not too much.
No.
He was doing his best.
No, he was not. No, he was not. When's the last time you watched Chicken Little?
I want you to think about it. I want you to probably like last year, but I want you to think about it for real. Like his dad had a lot of dreams for his son.
To be a baseball player?
To be a baseball player, but then ultimately to be accepted. Like, he was a baseball player, so naturally I want you to live out my dreams. And that's a natural, like, parent-child trope. Cool. But it's like, you're my kid. I was popular. My kid is so far off that spectrum. I want my kid to be not normal. I want my kid to be normal.
No,
and you are
no.
It's like you already got so far off of a story, right? Like I'm all you have. Your mom is gone, so I'm doing this by myself, and I miss your mother, and I don't really know what to do because I'm not that endearing. And now the sky is falling, and you cannot successfully explain it to me, but you want to go out and explain it to everybody else. But how can I defend you if I don't even quite understand you?
No, I agree.
I'm not giving him an excuse and saying
no. I get you.
But it's like it's 2009. Like this is like a natural parent reaction.
I understood the initial like, okay, the sky's still up. 1, 2, acorn. I understand that part. The part that always gets me is when he's driving him to school. The next, like after summer or whatever.
He tells him to lay low.
He literally tells him like, lay low, be invisible, don't be seen.
He's the smallest thing in the room.
And then Chicken Little tries and tells him, you know what, Dad, I'm gonna try for the baseball team because clearly that's what you want, because I just want to be validated and accepted by you.
Yeah.
And literally the one thing that he's literally complaining about, like him being normal and trying things, and he's like, you know, son, try stamp collecting. What do you want from the boy?
Okay.
I didn't like that.
But I think he was only like that because everybody else was booing him. Like, it wasn't like, I don't think you're good, you should just stop. It was like, you are not the best at this. And now everybody is booing you and calling you crazy and saying you're worthless. But it's just like, I don't want to hear that.
You need to have someone on your team. At the end of the day, someone should be on your team, and that should be your dad. That should be your dad.
Unfortunate. Okay, you have a point.
I also, at the end of the movie, towards the end of the movie, as they're resolving the issue for like the climax,
talking it out.
No. I like the talk out part. I'm okay with that.
That makes my heart warm.
Really?
Yes, when they're literally like, okay, finally, I'm on your side. Let's get the kid back. But then they start arguing, like they're running back and forth up the stairs, and they're arguing. And
that is like,
I just want you to love, like I just want to do what makes you happy. And he's like, hey, like I am proud of you. Like I am, you know, they have that soft moment.
Yeah.
I feel like that really redeems it all for me.
No. I feel like if my dad came back and was like, yeah, I'd be like, no. But the part before that, where the sky literally is falling, and Chicken Little has the alien in his hand, and his dad is still like, what are you talking about? No. Because I'm like, bro, if you would use some common sense, let's apply some common sense right now. Your son 5 months ago said that the sky was falling. You didn't believe in it. Okay, that's fine. Then again, he brings everyone to the baseball field. He's like, turns out the sky was falling. It was literally aliens. And then they were like, the space, there's nothing there. Fine. Second time, 2 strikes. Okay. The third time, everything turns out to be quite literally physically true. You see the sky falling. You see the aliens absorbing people with their little green glows. Yeah. The kid has a freaking alien in his hand that's talking, and he's talking back to him like he clearly knows what the hell is going on. Yeah. And you're just like, no, we need to get out of here. Chicken Little, you're just talking, you're always talking like this. The talk and the walk match. Like, the aliens are here. And I feel like those types of things bug me, because it's one thing to be like when there's no proof.
Yeah.
When literally the issue is happening and you can see that, oh, they've been right all this time.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the plan is or what the solution is, but they're clearly, I've missed out on something. They clearly have got this going, and people still choose to double down and be like, no, I don't like that.
I think you're right. I think you are right. But I also think in the year that movie was produced, it's like, no, that's exactly how people acted back then.
That's still how people act now.
You're right. So no, you are right. Like, he should have been on his son's side. He should have picked his son's side over anything, and he should not have been so caught up in like other people's opinions that he like dismissed him or was in denial. But in the year that that's exactly what it was. And I think that's why they had the whole like running up and down the stairs, let's reconcile this while you have my back, because that was supposed to be the, like, Disney always has the resolution.
Lesson. Yeah, I get it.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah, it's just a personal pet peeve. I'm just like, bro.
You're right. But I love that movie.
No, I get it. But what bugged me about Paranorman was that Paranorman had nothing. Paranorman had nothing and no one on his side. Even when he's literally like yelling at this witch that is cursing the sky, and the 7 zombies have arisen from their graves, and the town is doing a mob, and his parents come out into the crowd and they're like, Norman's up on the chapel talking to this witch, and his dad's like, get down from there, what are you doing, the town thinks you're a weirdo. And it's like there's a witch quite literally cursing the land that you're, I know. Yeah. And I think that's what irritates me, because it's just like, why are y'all navigating in fear? And the one person who is strong enough and brave enough to face this, you are tearing them down. And you don't even have to be tearing them down. You could be neutral about it.
I was just
and you're choosing to be negative.
Quiet. Yeah.
You could just be quiet.
Touch those lips.
Shut it down.
You're right.
And you're choosing to be like that, and I don't like that.
Yeah,
I don't like that.
That's true.
Yeah.
But did you ever watch My Gym Partner is a Monkey?
I didn't like it. I didn't think it was
okay. So when I was younger, I liked it a lot, and then somehow, some way, I got access to watch it again, and I was like, "This is the most horrible thing I have ever watched. I can't believe I ever liked it. Like, it's not even like remotely funny. Like, it's not even like." I was so disappointed.
That's a different type of pain, though.
I remember it being funny.
Yeah.
And I remember my mom being like, I don't understand why you like this show. And now I see why. Because it was absolutely it was not funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was not.
What movie did I put on? I wanted to watch something like a Disney original movie. Mm-hmm. Lizzie McGuire.
I actually still like it.
I will like it, but when I rewatched it the other day, and I was like, oh, the plot of this is a little question mark, because
isn't it about her like trying to be hot?
No. The one where they go to like Rome, Italy, but the premise of it is they go to Rome or Italy, and she finds out that she's like a princess in the pauper type beat, and she.
Oh yeah.
But the heartbeat throb of it, he's like 17 and she's like 13.
Oh, that's not right.
And they're dancing and prancing all on the stage and kissing, and I'm like,
oh,
I didn't remember this being a part of the plot.
Well, at our age, of course we wouldn't. We weren't looking for stuff like that.
Yeah, but when I watched it back, I was just like, whoa, like, who wrote this? Did she really have to be like, it was like her middle school field trip, like end of middle school field trip, like, you know how we go to like DC and New York, like they went to like Rome, and
that's some rich people stuff.
Oh God, 1, let's clock that. 2, did the pop star Guy Pops, he couldn't have been like 15 something, like.
Yeah, if he was 15, that'd be easier.
That would have made me feel a little better watching
it. Yeah, that was a grown boy.
Yeah, that was a
grown boy.
Yeah, that was a little weird. That'd be getting me. When you go to a movie that you used to love in like the early 2000s. Oh, no shade, because I still love this movie. But Barbie and the 12 Dancing Princesses.
Mm-hmm. I hadn't seen that one.
That movie looks so booty butt now.
Oh.
No, I love it though. I love Barbie and the 12
Barbie
Dancing Princess.
movies?
I used to have them on DVD.
Me too.
Yeah.
Too. Those movies I can go back and watch for sure.
Yeah, but I was just like, whoa, like this looks bad, but it's still love. It's still all love. But like I was watching 12 Dancing Princesses. I was watching clips of Princess and the Pauper because I can't find it anywhere. And Fairytopia and the Mermaid one. And I watched all of 12 Dancing Princesses. And I watched clips of Princess and the Pauper. And I watched all of Fairytopia. And I watched some of the Mermaid one. Mm-hmm. Because Bibble was trending. Do you remember Bibble from the Mermaid one? He's like this little blue and purple, like.
I don't think I watched the Mermaid one.
Oh, okay.
I think literally out of all the ones you just mentioned, I know Princess and the Pauper. Because I watched Princess and the Pauper, the one about Princess and the Pauper, Swan Lake. And the Nutcracker.
I didn't watch the Nutcracker.
And I feel like I watched another one. The Nutcracker was one of my favorites. The Nutcracker was one of my favorites for sure. I feel like I watched one more. But yeah. And I kind of kept those in rotation.
That's real. Yeah.
But okay, he was trending.
Yeah. And I was like, I haven't seen these in a while. I want to see them again. Yeah. And I was just like, I wonder how it's going to look. And yeah, it looked bad. It looked really bad.
But even now, like, I feel like animation even now is not good. Like, have you seen Wild Robot?
I haven't seen it yet.
Okay, the movie is good. The animation, my eyes had to get adjusted to. And it's almost like this paper 2D. It's almost like 3D trying to make 2D.
They did the same thing with Wish, the new Wish. Oh, that made me so mad. Style. I watched the Wish movie, and the writing was genuinely pretty good.
Yeah,
I was impressed by some of the themes they tackled, some of the references that they made in other Disney movies.
Yeah,
it was Disney's 100th year when they were making it, so it was supposed to be like a culmination of all these other sorts of things, and I was just like, the animation looks so lazy. Like, it looks like it wasn't fully rendered. Like, it's not done. Yeah. Like, and so I was sad because I was like, man, the writing's really good. And one of my little cousins, she really likes that movie. So she wanted to watch it. So I watched it with her and I was like, oh, this is cool. And I also watched it with my mom because my mom was saying she liked it. Yeah. And both times I was just like, wow, the story's great. The animation is trash. Yeah. Like, if you see her hair move, it's all stiff. Like,
what's the point of giving her braids if they're gonna be stiff?
Right, give my girl the Rapunzel treatment. What are y'all doing?
Yeah, but I feel like that's like the new the new thing, animation. Yeah, you know, of course animation goes through waves and stages. Yeah, but I don't particularly love. But the Wild Robot was good, and while my eyes had to get adjusted to it, they did adjust. And it was a good movie. Like, I didn't, you know? Yeah. Yeah. So, to the animators, please get right.
Well, like, please. I mean, shout out to the animators, though, because they're about to go on strike and all of this stuff. Because part of the issue is that animators are having to deal with crazy deadlines for movies because, you know, like production companies do, they just want it done and don't realize how long it's going to take. Yeah. And so they're overstressed and underpaid and overworked. Yeah. And that's part of the issue with the Spider-Man movies, the Miles Morales ones. Mm-hmm. The animators were saying, like, that was freaking ridiculous to have to make, and they're trying to.
I was just about to say that movie hurt my eyes, so I know it was a lot to animate.
I loved it because of all the different styles, and then it saddened me that
what they had
the conditions to
that the Miles Morales movie and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. It was like, well, there's so much happening before my eyes. Both the movies were very good, but the animation was like, there is a lot layered.
Yeah, right now. It's interesting because with like all these different types of technologies, you definitely see a style of them trying to imitate comic book pages onto screen, which I enjoy. But it does take a while to adjust to for the eyes. Like, it's hard to watch.
Slow down.
Yeah, because they're also very fast paced because they're action movies. Yeah,
it's like
I watched. Down. Of course, I saw both Spider-Man movies, maybe like 3-4 times in theaters. Yeah, and then I tried to watch it at home on my TV. And my personal room TV is a lot smaller than the one we have in the living room.
Yeah.
And I tried to watch it on my room TV, and I was like, this hurts. Like my brain, like my eyes were straining. I had to go to the living room to watch it because it was just like, it was hard to watch on a small screen because
it's moving so much.
It's just moving so much. Yeah. Oh, and no shade to it. It's really cool, but it was just like my eyes.
But that is an adjustment. That's to admit. Yeah. Well, I'm glad to have you here.
Thank you.
I'm glad we got to yap.
We yapped a lot.
We did yap a lot. This is going to be interesting to edit.
Right. We went from living in the hood to talking about Courage the Cowardly Dog.
But I'm glad we did, because as we've talked about
it's 11.
Oh, Jesus, is it?
Yeah.
As we've talked about it, we've gotten a chance to, like, I think it's really exciting because as Hood Child is coming, we've gotten to talk about all these things that have related to our childhood.
That's so true.
Like from music to TV.
We've stayed on a theme. Yeah.
That we've lived in. Oh, yes. It's been nostalgic from front to back. And knowing that Courage the Cowardly Dog is on HBO Max, I might just be occupied this evening.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yes.
Please come back to me after watching it, because I watched the main episodes I like.
I've watched it again and I still think it's good.
No, I think it's good. It's just like when I watched it, I watched first the episodes that I was craving, like the ones that I knew. Yeah. And then I watched some of the random ones and I was like, what? I'm overstimulated. What is happening? Courage. Eustace is, get that dog. Something's happening. The house is flooding. There's a fox man trying to steal Muriel. Like, it was.
All the men loved Muriel.
All the men loved Muriel.
Oblivious, Eustace. Like, don't you know it's Courage coming to save you? Like, I know your glasses work. Anyway.
Like, when has that man ever got out of his rocking chair to do anything for you, boo? You need to go and take that dog and get out of here. Just like Marge, you need to get up and go. Because clearly, get up.
But yeah, I'm definitely going to watch that tonight, because now that's on my brain. If I don't become resubmerged with my audiobook.
That's real.
Excuse me. But I'm very glad to have had you here. Thank you for coming to re-record with me. I'm very excited for Hood Child.
Thank you.
Which comes in either December of this year, 2024, or January of next year, 2025.
Yeah.
When it does come out, I will have the link to where you can purchase it in the show notes. In the meantime, your art exhibit is November 15th.
Yes.
Doors open at 6 p.m.
Yes.
And then it closes at November 16th at 4 p.m.
Yes. November 15th is more of it's the gallery, but we're also doing a discussion, or I guess a panel, about all of the art that is also featured in the entire exhibit.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And then Saturday's like just a viewing, the casual, open, any other museum type beat.
Do you plan to be there on Saturday?
Yeah, I'm gonna be there both days.
Oh, nice. Okay, so yes. So to have more of Aiyana, like, she'll be there on the 15th and the 16th. Please check her out. I have the link to where you can buy tickets in the show notes for this episode as well. Yeah. Tell them where they can find you. Like your Instagram.
Aiyana Sha'niel on all platforms. AIYANASHANIEL. Don't talk about it.
I'll also have that in the show notes as well. Yes, you can find Aiyana. Her Instagram, she shares her poetry there. She's an amazing poet, guys. So they can keep in contact with you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love you so much.
I love you too.
And I love y'all so much. And I thank y'all for entertaining us. I hope you were entertained by us. This is literally how we talk just on a day-to-day.
Yeah, actually. For this long, too.
Yeah. And let us know how you feel about, like, animation nowadays. And how you feel about Courage the Cowardly Dog. Because apparently that is...
And Chicken Little, because I need y'all.
And Chicken Little. Tell us your think piece about Chicken Little's father.
Yeah.
Or Chicken Little as a whole.
Actually, pretty much everything. I'd be interested in how y'all feeling. Let me know if Canberra was wrong in the comments below about how she treats us for our shows.
You know what? I literally was just about to say, like, if anybody is watching The Bear, like, let's talk about that. Like,
join me.
Am I wrong?
Because, other people.
Am I wrong? Let the people know. Am I wrong? I'm not.
You don't get to sway the audience like that.
I'm not swaying the audience. I'm letting them know that I think I'm not wrong, but they can let me know what they think, right? Right?
So please, we love your feedback.
Did you just confirm yourself?
Yes. So please, we love your feedback on our think pieces, on Courage the Cowardly Dog, on what did we just say? Chicken Little,
Chicken Little
animations nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah. We love y'all. I'll see y'all next week. Bye.